Here on this path to bliss, there is one thought of a resolute nature. Many branched and endless are the thoughts of the irresolute. Our life consists of movement and also of stillness. We need the stillness of deep sleep to give us strength and freshness for the movement of the day. But now there is one thing that always seems to be characterized by movement, and that is our mind. As the verse from the Bhagavad Gita tells us, the movement of the mind is endless. The vigorous mental activity, the life of the mind, needs to be endless. This movement tells us that we are alive, we think, we feel, and we're a spring of ongoing life. Less obvious is the fact that within the depths of our being, there is also a principle of stillness, a principle of silence, which doesn't change, will never be extinguished, and is ever here and now. This principle of silence and stillness is usually overlooked, and we miss it because of our absorption in the great stream of endless movement, our active, extroverted mind. So if we only follow the life of thought and the actions and the movement it leads us into, we will miss the principle of stillness, silence, and peace, which abides at the deeper level of our being, here, now. But the key point is this principle of silence, calm, rest, and peace is superior to the principle of movement. Now, why is this so? Because it is here in the inner stillness and silence that we find the secret of fulfillment and joy. You will say, how can the endless movement of the mind, the movement that is the mind, possibly gain touch with something that is the very opposite, that is still and silent? And the answer is given in the first line of the Gita verse. Here there is one thought of a resolute nature. So let us ask, what is this one thought that brings us back into touch with the inner stillness? It is nothing less than the thought of the stillness itself, associated with our real self, our true innermost nature. Meditation means to lead our mental life, to withdraw our attention from the endless variation of thoughts inwards into the still center, the immutable basis or foundation of being that the thoughts hide from us. And this withdrawal is reflected in our meditation text. I withdraw my consciousness from the body, senses, and mind, and rest in the peace and bliss of my true self. But can one thought, one fundamental idea, have the power to quieten the stream of the many thoughts? Yes, friends. If that thought is based on something real, immutable, not passing. In the inner economy, it is quality, not quantity, that counts. The many thoughts have an inherent weakness. It is their transitoriness. They're passing, passing, passing. They replace each other. But in contrast to this mental traffic, momentary and transient, is the thought relating to the deeper reality within us, relating to the stillness and inner silence. This thought is not transient. This one thought is not transient because its object is the pure, unwavering power at the core of our being, the ultimate self. Ever here and now. Unlike the other thoughts, this one thought points to the eternal in us, the permanent, unwavering power, the power that underlies the mind. Friends, when we meditate, we lead our mind from the seeming endlessness of the unmonitored, irresolute thoughts, so that our mind is dominated by the certainty of the one thought, relating to the deeper self-knowledge, what the meditation text calls the peace and bliss of my true self. This uncovering, this return may be called a homecoming. The superior quality of this great thought rests on the fact that this thought related to our deeper self harbors the secret of joy and fulfillment. We reach out for joy by means of the endless movements of the mind, in motion, in outer involvements, in the quest for wealth and pleasure. But true joy is to be found in the stillness that underlies thought, not in thought itself or the actions it leads to. So there is a paradox. We would expect that joy should be innate in the endless stream of thoughts. But the source of joy is revealed inwardly when that thought stream is subdued. So how again is that stream of thoughts brought to quiescence? It is through adopting the one all-penetrating idea of our true nature. This insight inspires the lines from the play by T.S. Eliot called The Rock. The endless cycle of idea and action, endless invention, endless experiment, brings knowledge of motion, but not of stillness, knowledge of speech, but not of silence, knowledge of words, and ignorance of the word. In the higher yoga, the word is not just from one tradition. It points to all teachings that shed light on this deeper realm. The right mental condition to prepare us for focusing on that one thought of a resolute nature can also be a symbol or symbolic image. And our visualization practice will be of this kind, namely the interior picturing of a line of light. This is one great symbol which helps us to focus our attention inwardly and overcome the distraction of the wandering thoughts. People sometimes say, I can't control this monkey mind. Yet they themselves have the key to its control and transcendence. No one else has it. It is our own power of resolve, of resolution, to nurture and hold firm to the one thought of our true nature. And this we start to do in meditation. Besides, in many aspects of our life, we have no problem in concentrating. Why not? Because there is attraction and self-interest. Friends, if we can make these teachings attractive, we will find they are based on the highest self-interest. For the teaching is that in reality, our real self is infinite and one in all. We have to live in the realm of motion, movement and sound, and make our benevolent contribution to this realm. But at the same time, we can ever realize our link with this infinite realm of silence, rest, fulfillment, and always have access to the realm within us, to that realm within us. For the realm of silence is really the hidden support of all experience, whether in the mind or in the outer world. And at any moment, we can commune with that realm if we connect with it through the one thought of a resolute nature. So these teachings tell us, behind the realm of movement, underlying the active life of our own mind itself, is the realm of silence, stillness, freedom, and fulfillment. And this is the true self, and it is one with the universal self. By grasping this one thought, keeping it resolutely in mind, the false suggestions that delude our mind will be undermined, and our higher blissful nature will reveal itself within us. So let us turn to our practices for tonight. And we start by approaching the meditation with reverence and calmness. Feel that you're in the presence of that deeper stillness and silence within and around you, and mentally bow to that invisible power. And we do this for a minute or two. Now we're going to do a breathing practice. We breathe slowly slightly more deeply than usual, drawing up the in-breath as if from the navel to the spot between the eyebrows. And once we have established the rhythm, we say inwardly, with each in-breath, the word here, and with each out-breath, now. These words remind us of our goal, nearer than thought, ever available. If we lift our attention from the then and there to the here and now. Breathe slowly, slightly more deeply than usual, drawing up the in-breath as if from the navel to the point between the eyebrows, and then let go. Establish a rhythm. Once you have established a rhythm, add to the in-breath the word here, and with each out-breath, now. Home. Here, now. A few more rounds. Now we are going to do a visualization practice, and it is this. Draw an imaginary line of light from the top of the forehead down between the eyebrows, nose, lips, throat, heart region to the navel. And imagine this line to be a line of light, and then concentrate on it. This interior line of light, imagined in this way, extending from the forehead to the navel, is a powerful image to hold our attention inwardly. Inner light is also a symbol of the ultimate light of our being, the light that reveals and animates all our experience. And we may look also on this practice as a means of taking refuge in our own inner light, a realm of purity and safety we can always turn to. So let us do the visualization now together for about 5 minutes. Draw an imaginary line of light from the top of the forehead, down between the eyebrows, down the nose, lips, throat, heart region to the navel. Imagine this line to be a line of light and concentrate on it. Oh. Concentrate on this interior line of light. Bring your attention back once more to this interior line of light, a symbol of the ultimate light of our being, a refuge. And our text for meditation is this: I withdraw my consciousness from the body, senses, and mind, and rest in the peace and bliss of my true self. Om. This meditation text sums up the process of meditation generally. It also reminds us that we ourselves hold the key to the control and transcendence of the mind. That key is our own power of resolve, our innate capacity to hold on to one thought of a resolute nature. And this is applied by the affirmative nature of our text. I withdraw my consciousness from the body, senses, and the mind, and rest in the peace and bliss of my true self. Friends, we can awaken and mature this supreme skill of guiding our own mind, and this we do through practice. So let us meditate together now. for about 5 minutes. I withdraw my consciousness from the body, senses, and the mind, and rest in the peace and bliss of my true self. Om. I withdraw my consciousness from the body, senses, and mind, and rest in the peace and bliss of my true self. I rest in the peace and bliss of my true self. And we close our meditation session by sending out thoughts of peace and goodwill to all beings without exception. We'll do this for a minute or two. Friends, every sincere effort, every minute devoted to this quest is a gain, because it makes an impression on our mind and adds to the inner transformation. And that transformation leads to enlightenment. Now, thank you for your attention and participation.